It's true on Hagada. We know that Kahal Israel, Pesach is very dear to Kahal Israel. It's a very dear Yom Tov, and because that's a type of conception of Am Israel. Am Israel became Am Israel on this night. We were chosen to be whatever we are. All of our pride, or everything that we have, our nitzchiyut, everything that we got from that night. Hashem chose us to get us from the authority of Paro to the authority of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That was the transition that happened that night. Therefore, man, everybody screams, everybody asks this question. It's not a question of informative question, it's an exclamation. Or wonder that how much this night did to us, what we came, what we are. And that is the point, and that's the message that we give to our children. Our chashivut, our important is because of this night, and we have to deal this night, we have to give chashivut to this night. And all of us, we have arba chosot, 4 cups that we celebrate over the cup, 4 cups we celebrate. Now the Gaon, the Gram, says a beautiful pshat. And other times we say arba chosot. These are arba lashon of geula, the lashon of geula. The arba chosot that Paro drank in his dream. But Gaon says a new insight in 4 chosot. Gaon says, "Eneget arba ulamot." When we talk about the Kahal Israel and the conception of the Kahal Israel, Gaon tells us the first and the most important thing by Kahal Israel is we have to open our horizon. We have to look deeper. We have to understand things on much greater scale. Not just 4 chos that we hold in our hand. There are 4 different worlds that the person living. Therefore, it's an insight in itself. In other words, you hold the chos, a cup, and it's full of wine. What is it? A cup of wine? No, it's 4 olamot. What are the olamot? She'olam hazeh, Yemot HaMashiach, Tichat HaMetim, Olam Haba. There are 4 words that the person is involved with. One is olam hazeh. All of us, olam hazeh. It's an interesting name. What's olam hazeh? What? Why should we got olam hazeh? What does hazeh mean? It's this. What does this mean? It's a word that you could feel it. It's tangible. It comes. Everybody sees that. Everybody relates to that. But it's not just olam hazeh. There are 3 different words also that most people don't relate to that. That is Yemot HaMashiach. When Mashiach comes, that's the perfection of the world. In other words, like Mefarshim say, that Baruch Hu didn't create olam hazeh for nothing in vain. There is a time that comes that olam hazeh gets to shlemut, to completeness, and that's the Yemot HaMashiach. Then is Tichat HaMetim. HaKadosh Baruch Hu revives all of the dead bodies. They come up, and Olam Haba. Olam Haba is the world to come. Olam hazeh is this world, and Olam Haba to come. Then, first we say Kiddush. First we hold the chos and we say Kiddush. Kiddush means Kedusha, the Kaddish. The job of Olam hazeh in this world is to be Mekadesh this world, to sanctify this world. In other words, not to have only perspective of Geshmiut of Olam hazeh, this world of Geshmi and materialistic, to elevate Geshmi. That's why the Seder starts with Kadesh Urchas. Everybody asks the Kasha, Kadesh means Kiddush, Kiddusha. Urchas means washing. Therefore we say Kiddush and then we wash for the celery to dip it in the vinegar. But now in the metaphor of it, Kadesh means Kiddusha, Urchas means washing. Now which one comes first? Washing comes first or Kiddush? One would think that the washing comes first. We wash ourselves first, and then we're going to be zecher to Kedusha. A lot of times we want to clean ourselves from the dirt, then we get Kedusha. But Kadesh Urchas is the nigun for Galut. We are still in Galut. And the nigun and the song of Galut says, don't make a mistake. It's not Urchas Kadesh, it's Kadesh Urchas. Kadesh means getting Kedusha, to elevate Olam hazeh. Whatever Kedusha you could do, you should do. And through that, you empower yourself. Once you empower yourself with Kedusha, then you wash yourself. if you want to wash and then get Kedusha, never happens. On a tomb of somebody, they wrote that he was deciding to become Kaddish after washing himself. And never happened. It never happens. The person has to sanctify himself, to learn a little bit, do a mitzvah. Whatever Kedusha, Satan comes to a person and says, no, that's not befitting you. First, you have to retire yourself, make yourself tahor, then do these things. No. After they say, oh, no, we're going to do it. We're going to carry out. And through that empowers a person. The person gets energy and power, then you could find. Therefore, the first cause is Olam Hazeh. Olam Hazeh is the concept of Kedusha. We sanctify Olam Hazeh. And nowadays, there is a lot of spirituality that goes around. People understand the emptiness of Gashmiut, materialistic or materialistic. They want Ruchniut and spirituality. Now, the spirituality comes from Torah. As the first cause comes to sacrifice Olam Hazeh. That's why we get the most materialistic liquid, which is wine, and we turn it over to Kedusha. Very interesting. They serve wine in the bars and places that, they go after Gashmiut and materialistic. Here, on Leil Pesach, on Shabbat, we bring wine and sacrifice. And that's what the Halisar are. The message that we give to our children also is that we're not monks, and this type of thing deprives ourselves from Olam Hazeh. We use Olam Hazeh, we sanctify Olam Hazeh. Now, second cause, we say Hagada. Hagada is the Sipur of Yitzhak Mitzrayim. That's created by the Mashiach. Now, there's a question in the Gemara. At the time of Mashiach, do we talk about Yitzhak Mitzrayim or not? Some say not, because at the time of Mashiach, there is so many Nisim and Nifraot that we don't need Yitzhak Mitzrayim. But others say that no, even though that we have so many Nisim, still we talk about Yitzhak Mitzrayim. Oh, before Hashem said, what's Pshat? Parable to what? Parable to somebody gets married and then has children, children, and becomes family. A lot of times when a person has family, then he forgets the marriage. We get two children. Children becomes Ikar, and but always you have to know, children comes because of the marriage. It's very exciting to have children, they grown up, and they do. But the marriage is the essential of everything. Here also, Yitzhak Mitzrayim was essential in our relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. That made everything to happen. Even at the time of Mashiach, we talk about Yitzhak Mitzrayim. The second chos that we talk about Nisim about HaKadosh Baruch Hu and the might of Hashem, we're going to see at the time of Mashiach the might of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. But the first issue we started with Yitzhak Mitzrayim, that's the second chos. Third chos is Birkat HaMazon. Now, Birkat HaMazon, what does it mean? When we say Birkat HaMazon, Birkat HaMazon is the recognition that our chiyut, our sustenance doesn't come from the food, it comes from the word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The word of HaKadosh Baruch Hu, that there is the word of Hashem that sustains us. That is the food. Like the Echa says, 10 ladies bake bread and one person will not get satisfied. Why? 10 ladies. No, the Echa says. Why? Because HaKadosh Baruch Hu took away the sustain from the bread. Like the apostle says, the person is not sustained on the bread. Al-Kol Motzapi Hashem. And Mishnah Berurah says, whenever that we make Birkat HaMazon, have to mechaven that we're going to be getting nutrition from the ruchniut of the food, which is Birkat HaMazon, to bring it out. Fourth one, halal. Fourth cause is the halal. No, there is no eating, there is no drinking, just one chos and praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Now that is Olam Haba. In Olam Haba, the word to come. There's no drinking, there's no materialistic life. Now what's the difference between Olam Hazeh and Olam Haba? Olam Hazeh, the body is host and Neshama is a guest. By Techiyat HaMetim, by Olam Haba, the host is Neshama and the goof and body is a guest. It will resolve to the Neshama. And in that world, there is nothing except praising HaKadosh Baruch Hu and connection with Hashem. And that is what we are reaching and getting on Leil Pesach. Leil Pesach is the conception of Israel, and that's a map that we're going to give to our children. You should know That it's a legacy of Echad Israel. Echad Israel gives over this legacy to the children. That we are not just living for Olam Hazeh. There's the Olam Hazeh, there's the Yemot HaMashiach, there is Techiyat HaMetim, and there is Olam Haba, at the last station, that the person becomes one with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. The end of the Pesach night is the Yichud with HaKadosh Baruch Hu. Just like a wedding, at the end of the wedding is the Yichud, person has a chos, and there's nothing matters. There's no eating, there's no drinking, nothing matters in the world. Only me and my relationship with HaKadosh Baruch Hu, and I'm going to improve it, to make it better, to be Eved Neman for Hashem. And that is what we're being over this night, and should be Chai Kosher, Sameach for all the Echad Israel.